Um, I want to talk about all this racism stuff that's been flying around. I've seen a couple of videos now, going back to December, a video that Copizzle made a couple months ago. All right, in that video, he used a word that nobody likes. If nobody likes the word. It's not a pleasant word, the N word. All right, but the manner in which he used it was not in a racist tone. It wasn't. He did not call anybody the N word. He did not even say, he did not even refer to the black race as that. He said he was using a bad comparison, in my opinion. He was saying that calling Southern people hicks is comparable to calling black people the N word. I disagree with that, but I kind of understand where he's coming from. All right. Now I went back and watched the video because I was, obviously I don't know Copizzle, but I didn't get the feeling that he was a racist person from the videos I've seen. So I went back and watched it, and I laughed because the outrage that I have seen from some people regarding that little 2-second quote. You would think that he was burning crosses in his front yard, or come on, people. Has this country become so easily offended that anything anybody says is punishable by death? If you want to be outraged over the use of that word, be outraged at the rappers that just let that word fly around in every song you hear on the radio. I mean, to call that racism, what Copizzle said, to call that racism is a slap in the face to Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all the people that stood up and fought in the civil rights movement. It baffles my mind how, and this is all races, how somebody can be so easily offended, over just a simple little quote, that had no hidden meaning behind it, that was just, on the fly, a comparison like that. Now, to Copizzle, I say, being called a hick is not like a black person being called the N word. It's just not. I'm a Southern boy, and I've been called derogatory Southern names my whole life. I've had, I think it's funny. Somebody wants to call me a hick, a redneck, hillbilly, talk about incest, whatever you want. It makes me laugh. It's not, there's nothing that can be said that can offend me as far as Southern derogatory names. So I do not think that is comparable to that word. But again, come on, guys. In my opinion, the people that get upset over that little quote are just looking for a reason to be outraged at something. I don't want to start a bunch of shit, but that's just what it is. The dude made a bad comparison. If you want to be offended that he would compare Southerners being called hicks to blacks being called the N word, well then yeah, I can see that a little bit. But to just over even mentioning or even saying that name or that word, that's going too far. That's just saying, all right, comparing somebody even saying that word to racism, to what went on. This is not 1950s Mississippi, I assure you. Racism still exists, I understand, but just because a white person says the N word does not make them racist. Like I said before, if you want to be offended that the N word has become pop culture in on MTV, on rap songs, on shit like that. So I guess that's pretty much all I got to say on the subject. I hope I didn't offend anybody.